If you are working as a software development manager or a project manager or a manager in a software development company or in other type of companies where you have to do resource allocation, you have to see that what are your resources are working on at any given point in time and how you can schedule more projects with those resources in future. Uh, then this video is of good importance for you. In this video, I'm going to talk about how you can do resource allocation using Excel spreadsheet and how you can visualize that data using various type of pivot tables. So this is the sheet workbook that I have, and I have data is my one of the sheet which has all the data about the resources, what project they are working upon, and what activity they have in the project. The resource allocation that I have is at week level. So, and then how much effort you are putting in for that resource in that week for that particular project. For me, I'm adding SD week, which is software development engineer week, as the unit. As for my example, the team that I have is software development engineers. So, and then there are other sheets, but we will go one by one. So what I'm doing here in this data sheet, this is like the master where I'm adding the name of the engineer, what project that engineer is working upon, what is the activity, and in week 26 he is spending 1 week worth of effort in doing this. In the week 27 also is spending 1 week worth of effort on the same project, same activity, and so on and so forth till all these weeks here. Then my other engineer is working on a project, for example, complaints handling, and these are all the activities that are there in complaints handling from week 26 to week 29, and this is the effort that he is spending there. Then he moves on to some other project, some other activity in the same project in week 29. So these are just dummy data, and similarly, you have, other resources and per project, per activity, per week, what they're doing. And, after listing all of this, uh, the pivot tables that I have is one, which is, all projects view. So what does this tell me? That, my resource, this gives me, full lay of land. Like the engineer Ian is working on, internship and is doing design on week 27, is doing implementation on week 28, is doing implementation on 29. This is his review. Then again implementation, then is spending, 1 week here for presentation, another week here for presentation. And similarly, I can see what my other resources like Robin, Rima, Neil, Jacob, Jonathan are doing, and Kumar and Neil. And I can have, conditional formatting. Like in my case, the number of resources that I have are 7. So I can see that, where I am like overbooked and where I'm underbooked so that I can focus on those particular weeks to see that the resource allocation, demand and supply matches. I could also do a conditional formatting here, which looks at the allocation at per week level. So I want to find out, if I'm overbooking or underbooking. So I will just do the conditional formatting on less than or greater than 1. So it tells me that right where the problem areas are, where I can focus and correct the allocation. Yeah. So yeah, so looking at say Robin here in week 30 is 0.5. So it tells me that I have some capacity here. and so on and so forth. All these highlighted columns means that I'd have not booked this resource for these weeks, and I can go back into my data and add any more projects that I might have in my backlog, which isn't part of this sheet. But you can also build another sheet from where you can refer the backlog that you have, and what date you have to hit, and keep planning those projects here, and make sure that the resources are uh, not even overbooked or underbooked, just rightly booked. And like in this case, it tells me for Jacob that I'm overbooking him for week 26. So I can go here and see what I'm doing. So week 26 here, Jacob, I see that I have accidentally put in 2 week ST effort. So I have to reduce it. In case the effort needed for that activity is of 2 weeks, then I will have to split that with some other engineer or something like that. But yeah, so this gives you, an idea about how you can do the resource allocation. Now you see, I have at least for week 26 to week 28 um, fairly covered, and the allocation is accurate. It made it the demand and supply matches. The week's definition here is the dates are provided here to understand that what week corresponds to which business dates. And then using the same data, I have created some other views. For example, per engineer view. So there is a filter that you could use to see that, per engineer, how does it look like? And you could also, uh, have a closer look on, say, only 3 weeks, something like that. Because at any given point in time, you would like to have a plan for the full year, but at the same time, you want to focus on say a quarter or a particular month or things like that. So you could do that here as well. Similarly, I have using the same data, I have this view where I can focus on a particular project. So I want to say look at complaints handling, dashboard, and customer reviews. So here it tells me that how much I'm spending and who is working on those assignments. So this is, in my view, a good way of doing resource allocation. I'm also trying to build, different view from this data that helps me understand the project status too. But as far as resource allocation is concerned, I think once I have populated all the data for all the weeks and all the projects that I have, like a view like this would give me a very good lay of land, what my team is working upon, and where are the opportunities for me to slot something new that might come to my team. So I thought of sharing this video with you so that you can also leverage on what I have built here. And in case if you have any questions for me or any suggestions to do it differently and do it in a better way, please do let me know so that I can learn from your experience. Thank you very much for watching.